Hi guys, this is Mrs. Gassler, and in this video we're going to talk about solutions, the basics of solutions, so some definitions about solutions and how they're formed, and the parts of solutions. Should be a pretty short video. So we're going to follow through here and fill some stuff out as we go. And the first definition that we're going to start with is a solution. A solution is a homogeneous mixture. You might remember homogeneous mixture from last semester. In a homogeneous mixture, you can't see the parts. All these samples are uniform. It's uniform throughout, so it's a homogeneous mixture. And in a solution, that is the case. The opposite of a homogeneous mixture is a heterogeneous mixture, and in that one you can see the pieces. Think about a chocolate chip cookie. You can see the chocolate chips. There's definitely different parts. In a solution, that's not the case. You can't see the pieces. So it's a solution. It's a homogeneous mixture in which a solute is dissolved by a solvent. Okay. In a later episode, we'll understand how that dissolving process works. But that's the basic definition of a solution there. Remember, it's a homogeneous mixture. Our next definition, in order to understand this first one, is what's a solute? Well, a solute is, there's two ways to think about it. The first way that you can think about it is that it is what's being dissolved. If you put some salt in some water, the solute is the salt. The salt is being dissolved in the water. But sometimes you can make a solution out of out of gases or liquids, and so it's harder to think about that as far as what's being dissolved. So another way that we think about the solute is it is what there is less of, which is true even when we're talking about what's being dissolved, but the smaller amount is going to be your solute, okay? If you can't tell whether it was the solid being dissolved or not. Now the solvent, again, here we'll do this, there's the 2 stars. If the solute is what's being dissolved, the solvent is what does the dissolving. What does the dissolving? So when you put salt in water, it is dissolved by water. So water is the solvent. Okay. Now sometimes, again, if you can't tell what was dissolved and what was doing the dissolving, then the other way to think about it is it's what there is more of. Okay. What there is more of. And the universal solvent, just about everything dissolves in water. Not everything dissolves in water, but most things dissolve in water. So water is thought of as the universal solvent because you can dissolve ionic compounds and you can dissolve polar covalent compounds. And nonpolar compounds don't dissolve in water, but that's just a small portion of it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about briefly is some common solutions that you might come across in regular everyday life. In fact, almost everything that you can think of is an everyday solution. This table is probably a solution. I can't see the parts, and I know it's got different pieces in it, so it's technically a solution. It's a solution of solids. Brass is a solution of solids too, but here's some that we'll discuss. Air is a solution. You can't see the parts. There are some things dissolved in the air. If you think about it, so it's what, 71% nitrogen, maybe it's 70%, and then it's like 21% oxygen, and then various small percents of other things. Like argon and carbon dioxide, those make up the other 2 big ones. Nitrogen, because there's the more of it, this is the solvent. Nitrogen is the solvent in our atmosphere, and then because there's less oxygen, that makes oxygen the solute. So if you want to think about it that way, oxygen is dissolved in our atmosphere. That's a common solution there. Tap water is a solution. It has pure water and minerals and other things, minerals and metals that are dissolved in the water, and those would be the solute because they are dissolved in the solvent that is water. Now pure water is not a mixture, it's not a solution, but if you get tap water, it most definitely has some things in it. which you knew from watching the video that then when they treat the water, they put things in it. Another one, and this one is my favorite, is soda. Soda is a really interesting. So this is a gas. Air is a gas mixture. Water is almost a solid liquid mixture because those solids are dissolved in the water. Soda is a liquid and gas mixture. Because the liquid, which is generally water and maybe some other flavorings, and the gas that's dissolved in it is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, you don't think about it this way, but the water is the solvent, and the carbon dioxide is the solute. And when the water, what they do is they run carbon dioxide through, pressurized through the water, or in a variety of ways, and that dissolves the carbon dioxide in. When your soda goes flat, that means that all the carbon dioxide has left, and it changes the flavor of your soda. So the carbon dioxide tastes a little bit sour, a little tart maybe. When you drink the soda with the carbon dioxide dissolved in it, it tastes like yummy soda. And when you don't have the carbon dioxide anymore, it tastes terrible. And that's why. Now you understand why soda is yummy. All right, so that's it for this first objective here. The objective we talked about was to define a solution and distinguish between solute and solvent. Thanks for watching. Let your teacher know if you have any questions.